And welcome to Overtime, brought to you by KingsCast at www.kingscast.net. I'm Keith Korneluk.
And I'm Chris Kalzewski.
Woo! That's right, Kings fans. Another W. Kings back up in the series 3-2. Chris, I'm loving life right now.
That's right, Kings fans. Kings playing Kings hockey. What an awesome game. Here to talk about Game 5. Also do a playoff beard update. And we'll also read our favorite comments from the post-game thread. And we'll also preview Game 6, an elimination game.
So here we go. It is episode 199. Celebration high five up there on that.
Yeah, we missed. Whatever.
Damn, whatever. Here we go. Let's roll.
All right, Kings fans, we're back. Game 5 tonight, a huge game. And we talked about this last time, Keith. I mean, this is a Game 7 type situation because we really believe that the winner of this game will take the series, and the Kings really played with it, made the right adjustments, and picked it up very quickly right away.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If the Kings are going to win any series, they have to be physical, like they were all last playoff series. And this game, I mean, we were out hitting the San Jose Sharks 2-1. Physically abusing them to a certain degree. No weird calls or anything like that, but great to see the Kings aggressively on the forecheck, taking the body. That's what they need to do, because in this series, goals do not come easy, as we've seen through the last few games, as we saw kind of tonight. And, Los Angeles Kings playing that LA Kings hockey that we like to see.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, you go into the first period, and the Kings just came out. And for the first time, really, I think, this whole playoffs. I mean, the first period has not been kind to them. They've been kind of sluggish. They kind of looked lost out there. But tonight, they were just flying out there. It was like they had an extra little pep to their step. And, I liked the way they were playing. I mean, obviously, the score was 0-0 after one. But, hits-wise, they were connecting. Passes, they were connecting. I think they've had a lot of sloppy passing throughout the series. But, they showed that they were here to win this game.
Yeah, definitely not missing Jarrett Stoll as much as we were previously. I mean, you got to give props to Trevor Lewis, who did not have a point tonight, but looked absolutely fantastic. The whole team really stepping it up, kind of like what Daryl Sutter did, right? Changing the lines up. He had Clifford with Kopitar and Williams. He had Brown down on the third line. By the way, what a game by Dustin Brown. No goals, but had quite a few, awesome chances. He had one shot on goal where he was, flat on his stomach, and, everybody playing hard the way, you're supposed to. Defense definitely looked like, an NHL playoff caliber defense. You got to give a shout out to Drew Doity, who's really starting to realize his role as a leader on this team, and, not that aw shucks kind of frat boy that, he once was, but really liking the play by the Los Angeles Kings. Second period, same hard-hitting thing. And the Kings have been saying, we need to play a solid 60 minutes. I don't think they have in this entire playoffs tonight. Chris, I think that changed.
Yeah, I think they definitely did, finally. I think Lewis actually did end up getting an assist for that Voynov goal, the second one.
Right.
But, absolutely fantastic. I mean, Doity and Lewis, the unsung hero, who doesn't really get enough credit because he was all over the ice tonight. I mean, he was like a middle linebacker. I mean, he was diving at every chance, blocking shots, like really involved with every play that he was in on the ice. But second period towards the end, getting a huge goal. It's kind of a dirty goal, but whatever. I mean, like you said, goals are at a premium this time. And, we get the 1-0 lead going into the third.
You gotta. We talked about last show. You gotta have Anze Kopitar and Dustin Brown step up. I think they both did. Anze Kopitar getting that kind of garbage goal off a really nice shot by Slava Voynov. I think it was Slava Voynov. Excellent goal. Excellent game by Mike Richards. I mean, Mike Richards all over the ice as well. Looking like that Philadelphia Flyer captain that he once was.
And Jonathan Quick. I mean, for God's sakes. I mean, the guy is playing fantastic. Another series where he had just a fantastic series of saves. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's in Conn Smythe form times 10. I mean, he's doing better than he did last year at this point, which is hard to believe. He leads every single statistical category for goaltenders in the playoffs right now. Goals against, save percentage, shutouts now. With 3 he leads. And I think even now he's tied with wins. I mean, the guy is playing lights out, and it's nice to see that the other players on the team are actually stepping up to support his awesome efforts.
Chris, speaking of Jonathan Quick, interesting quote by TJ Gagliardi, who was saying that Jonathan Quick, flops all over the ice. He's kind of a diver, which is really weird to see. I mean, to me, Jonathan Quick, I don't ever really see him embellishing. He gets emotional. There's no doubt about that. I love to see Drew Doughty today, saying to the press that, you watch 3 shifts with TJ Gagliardi, and, he's the biggest diver ever in the league. I'm sure Sharks fans will disagree with that statement, but it was nice to see Drew Doughty kind of stepping that up. A little bit of chirping going on. Definitely an emotional series amongst guys of the Pacific Division that should have been in contention for the number one spot and weren't. But definitely nice to see. My only problem with tonight, Chris, was that this win came at home, and we still can't seem to win on the road.
Yeah, it's definitely concerning. I mean, I'm glad that they've won, obviously, but there is a concern with that. I mean, they got to show this in Game 6. I mean, obviously, Game 6 coming up, it's an elimination game, and they need to show that they can win on the road and be that team that, was going to try to repeat for the Cup for the first time in, 15 years? I mean, third period, a lot of the same. The Kings, it was amazing watching the game tonight because they were able to maintain their torrid pace when it comes to hitting and cycling the puck and being in the offensive zone. Their forecheck was rocking it. It was great. And then I had some nice supporting goals there. Voinov, obviously, with his goal that really kind of separated. You felt with the 2-0 lead that it was somewhat solid. I mean, I think the Sharks had, a couple good chances. Couture is still a fantastic player. Has some great chances. And, I mean, Joe Thornton, my God. I mean, this is a guy that we sort of wrote off in the offseason. I was like, okay, he's getting old. Maybe it's time for him to get traded to, the Red Wings or something like that. But he was tearing it up in the faceoff circle and just being a force that he was. But, it didn't matter because the Kings were able to hold on defensively, top to bottom, every single player, not just Doughty. Regeer had a good game, surprisingly.
He did.
Muzzin had a good game, which, Muzzin's been getting tossed around like a rag doll the entire series. But, Jeff Carter getting the empty netter, sealing the shutout.
You kick it!
So, Keith, going into Game 6, another situation on the road in a very tough place to play, a place where the Sharks have only lost 2 games in regulation, have not lost in the playoffs this year at all. So, I'm looking forward to the Kings stepping up. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be Brown or Kopitar or Carter, whoever it is. They got to step it up and score some goals and show that they can close like the team that we know they can.
Well, the key to this, to this road game, Chris, is physicality. Can Los Angeles Kings bring that physicality that they had tonight into Game 6 in the Shark Tank, which is, a very hard place to play against, so I've heard. You definitely need your top-line players, playing at the top of their game, but you need that physicality. You need to be aggressive on the forecheck. Jonathan Quick has to maintain his steady performance. Otherwise, we're looking at a Game 7. The good news for the Los Angeles Kings is you got to win one of the next 2 games, and we go to the Western Conference Finals. Can we do it? I think we can, but they've been really, really bad on the road. I mean, I think what we should do, Chris, is, spend the night in Los Angeles and fly that day. Have the morning skate perhaps on the plane. The opposite of last year, where Daryl Sutter used to put them up on the, put them up at the hotel, while they were at home.
I liked, yeah.
Do the exact opposite this year, and we'll then win the Cup again. But San Jose Sharks, they're not going down without a fight. Great team. Yeah, I'm sure Joe Thornton will not go pointless again, but it's going to be a real battle. Going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. So looking forward to that, and hoping that the Kings can steal one on the road and close out this series, in 6 games. Because I hate to go into a 7th game. I'm not saying that the Kings would lose that game, but I don't know. I would like to see them win on the road again, like they did against St. Louis.
Yep, absolutely. So Kings fans, here we go. It's another KingsCast Beard Update.
Oh, I wish that life was like a game show. I could use my smarts and my intelligence. All my folks would be so very proud of me if I won them a use of my Captain Crunch.
All right, Kings fans, we'll be right back at you either after Game 7 or before the next series. We're going to skip out on Game 6. Kalzewski's got a daughter that's got a birthday. Things are more important than Kings hockey. Ooh, sorry, hardcore Kings fans. So there we go. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us on the YouTube. It's down below. Somewhere else on the World Wide Web, follow our main man, Nathan Popejoy. He's on the Twitter. It's right there. Follow our man, Alex. KingsCast blog. It's right down there.
Nice.
I'm Keith Cornelick.
And I'm Chris Kalzewski.
Thanks for watching Overtime by KingsCast.
Hey, mate, you need to clean yourself up. You know why, 'cause you're dirty.
All right, Kings fans, and now one of our favorite things to do is to read our post-game thread and some of our favorite comments on it. So let's get it going. Cornelick.
All right, so we have from Sean Park. Let's sweep the leg, quickie. Finish them.
That's right. Jeff Sable says, Green is a monster. Quick, best goalie in the league without hesitation.
John, I'm going to butcher this last name. Molinero says, prepare for Black Sunday.
Yeah, and of course, Bill Dunn says, wow, the Sharks fans are quiet tonight. Yes, they are.
And finally, Gail Lucas, someone who people like to troll on our Facebook thread for some reason, but huge fan of the team, says, finally showed up, and I was there in person. NHL needs to fire the refs who are making those missed calls tonight. Always something from Gail. Gotta love that. So don't forget to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/KingsCast. Get involved in the conversation.